So I think this is really weird because Lisa is just taking me around a journey out there with clean language and clean space, which was really linked to what I'm about to do. So I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore because of that. It's your fault. Coach Lisa. Thank you. So, yes, so coach profile. So I'm a coach, Cordie, and I think my starting point of talking about me being a coach is that I feel statistically, I guess, I should be here. And that is linked to, I guess, my story. So my story is started with two people, my German mum and my Nigerian dad. And they met in a small town in the middle of Germany called Göttingen and made a baby. Made a baby, and that wasn't a good thing at the time for many reasons of culture largely and religion, I guess, as well. So it wasn't an equal choice of how to deal with that. So in the end, my mother made the decision to place me for adoption. So I was adopted, and that meant for me, I guess, and that's kind of like what stays with me, that my experience of coming into the world was that experience of loss. So I think you kind of like, oh, if you're a baby, do you even know? But I can tell you, you do. So I think that loss has always stayed in me and is still in my body now. And I guess from that kind of started that journey. So I had my family as in my adoptive family. So I grew up with a white mum and dad and my brother, and I think that battle of identity has always been in that kind of upbringing for all of us, because my brother is adopted and I am adopted, so there is like a mess, a mess of stuff. And my adoptive parents, my parents' relationship wasn't great, so that hasn't helped into the mix. So it's life, isn't it? It happens. And what that meant for me, I guess, is that two things, I guess. There was an element of resilience which came out of there, and another element of vulnerability. And I think the vulnerability came in like risk, like aligned with my character and taking it, and also like chaos. I think there was a lot of chaos in me as a young person, not making the best decisions all the time. And there was also a real level of resilience. So I think through my character, I have something very persistent. I am goal-orientated. I don't give up. And I think that persistence allowed me to continue to try and claim what I naturally always thought I should have. So I continue to try and claim, respect, love, belonging, and I never gave up with that. And I love that about me, that I never stopped. And I think through that, I see that as part of like that I am not the potential statistic of adoptive children don't do that well, So I went through school and all of that. I had fantastic friends, some bridging, some bonding, some crazy, and then went to university in Germany. So I managed to get a foundation degree in social pedagogy in Germany, and then came to the UK. That was part of the chaos and the crazy, so I'm not going to go into it all, but it wasn't a fantastic relationship. So I met somebody from Wales, and that kind of created that path onto the island. But it meant for me that I carried on despite that relationship being in a car crash, and did a bachelor in social science in Wales, and then went to do a master's in social work, which is what I wanted to do, because I always had that desire to kind of understand and help, feeling the complexity of relationships, of family. I wanted to understand it, and I wanted to support other people through it. So being a social worker, for me, was like that opportunity to do that, and it did that. So I had 15 years in social work, and I am really, really grateful for those 15 years, because I had the privilege to be and work with families and learn and watch and see, oh my God, and yes, I know, and it was all these kind of emotions, trying to make sense out of what's happening for people, my story, complex behavioural change, and really learned about, I guess, to me, like what now form the tools, the techniques and the foundations of the coaching. So that it's like building blocks which shape themselves, and they are complex and involve lots and lots of models and theories, but what I always come back to, I guess, is the self, the person, and that well-being element in people, then the relationships, and we don't exist in a vacuum, and that we are linked to other people, whether we like it or not, and understanding those, and the last one, the kind of output, the goals. We need to have a mission. We need to, with that, with well-being and relationship in place, we can achieve, and we can move mountains, and we can do incredible things, and I've seen that with people, with families, and I've always struggled to see it with myself. So underplaying my story and underplaying my struggles, and seeing them as, I guess, what goes underneath gets dug up very deeply, gets put away, and a lot of shame creates around that. And I think this is my why of talking about it, because talking about it isn't easy, and it feels a bit irrelevant when I'm really honest. And I know that's bullshit, because it is relevant, because without the shame, it's who I am, and it's why I'm good at my job, it's why I can connect with people, why I've got empathy, why I have, I don't know, I was going to say no judgment, and that's not true, but why I can check in with my judgment, and why people come collect, because I can grow them, because I see the potential. That child me that's still there, I saw the potential. I never stopped trying, I never stopped claiming, and I see that, and I could do that for other people in that space of coaching. And in my social work career, I went into leadership, and I did that, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the leadership, I enjoyed working with individuals, teams, in organizations, kind of really connecting that formal corporate mission with actually we are a bunch of people, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're in the street, it doesn't matter whether you're in a beautiful home, it doesn't matter whether you're in a fancy office or in a really prestigious, beautiful boardroom. It doesn't matter, we're still people. And I think those foundational skills about people, they have helped me to be a leader, seeing people as the resource, and just knowing they can do, and letting everybody claim their space and get on and enjoy it, because I've always been the child. My mum would always say, whenever there was people, your brother was there on the side and you were right in the middle dancing around. That was the thing, and I've never wanted to lose that, and I feel, I think it is pride to kind of keep that playfulness, keep that creativity with me in leadership, and that isn't easy, because sometimes it all gets very serious, it all gets very corporate, it all gets very goal orientated in a very narrow way, and to keep the play, to see people and to play myself has always been something I think what people appreciated and valued around me. So it was fun. Yeah, we were doing hard stuff. Yeah, sometimes it really didn't work out, but we enjoyed the journey, and that was important. People wanted to be there. So those complex things like retention, change, transitions, I know with my play, with my true me, with my playful creative me, they come easy to me because that's who I am. I play, I love it. And a true Nigerian at heart, that never left me. I had always a side hustle. So starting random businesses was what I'm also known for. Like every maternity leave of my lovely 3 girls was my opportunity. Ooh, I've got time now, what can I play? So my friend and I at some point started a confectionery business. I absolutely loved it. We were doing random stuff. We were going down to London, presenting to people from Harrods and having combinations with Starbucks, and then selling like to Germany our marshmallows. It was gourmet marshmallows. And it was just like so playful, and we were giggling in the car. It's like, is that actually happening? So I've always kind of kept that, and it's taught me a lot about, you know, the other side, the not public sector side, the business side, the entrepreneurial side, and I loved it. So in 2020, Linz and I started our little business, Coco Coaching, and that was like it all coming together. It all coming together in a way that I can use my coaching skills in a way that feels social value driven, because we could create our own social values. So we've got 2 rules to the business. One is you've got to make a positive difference to the person, and the second rule is you've got to enjoy your day. That's it. We just need those 2 rules, and it works because that's what I want my life to be, and that's what I want other people's lives to be. So it was like freedom of doing that. It felt so risky. It was against the grain of anything my background in my adoptive family would have imagined, because it was all about, like, you know, it's normal people, you know, you get a job and you're grateful, and then you retire and you're even more grateful, you know. So it was risky and crazy, but I am so pleased that I did that. And I think in terms of where I want to make a difference is in working with anybody really, because I know people have barriers. I know I still have lots of barriers. I still have lots of baggage, and I want to continue to work with individuals, organizations, to walk alongside them, to see what happens, find different positions, different perspectives of how we can take vulnerabilities, barriers, whether they're individual, external, internal, personal, and transform them into gifts. Because even the painful stuff, there's gifts of knowledge, there's gifts of power, there's gifts of inspiration. And I think coaching can really create that space where that magic happens. So yeah, that's me. No.
Thank you so much.
I would like a shower.